Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Delicious things to eat.
The popcorn can't be beat. The sparkling drinks are just dandy. The chocolate bars and the candy. So let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Yeah. Awesome sauce. Hello, everybody. This is Blind Adam Wonders. You are listening to Awesome Sauce Radio, or watching Awesome Sauce Radio, or doing something to Awesome Sauce Radio. Before we bring in my guest, say what's up to JD, I just want to thank two quick sponsors. Well, technically it's three because I'm giving some peeps a shout out. But of course, the official pizzeria. I'd like to thank the official pizzerias for sponsoring tonight's episode. The Marco's Pizza, 1926 Union Deli Road, Hewitt, New Jersey, 07421. 973-728-1344. TheMarcosPizza.com. They have delivery, pickup, sit down. They'll cater your events. They got it all, man. They can put anything on a slice of pizza. I've seen it. 1926 Union Deli Road, Hewitt, New Jersey, 07421. 973-728-1344. TheMarcosPizza.com. Tell them what I'm saying. Also want to give a big shout out to Taylor and Glenn and 80 and Monica, all over 420 somewhere. 420 somewhere. It's West Milford's best dispensary. They're at 1938 Union Deli Road, Hewitt, New Jersey, 07421. 420somewhere.com. Tell them what I'm saying. And of course, on June 27th, 28th, the Garden State Comic Fest returns to the Cody Arena in West Orange. They're going to be there for both days. Kevin Eastman, the creator of the TMNT, will be there. James Zavar, the curator of the Crow. OG Pink Ranger, Amy Jo Johnson. Definitely going to be there for one of the 2 days. Making my plans as I speak, but I'll be there walking around. So check out the GardenStateComicFest.com. Tell them what I'm sent you. And next week we will have one of their guests on as a special guest at a special time. More of that at the end of the show. Now I'd like to bring in one of my best friends. Someone I have nothing but love and respect for within the blindness community. She works for Edge. She's also really well versed with anything tech. Let's bring in Alira. Is it Geiki?
Goka. Hi. Hello.
Okay. Oops. I mean, I'm pronouncing it wrong all these years. I'm sorry about that.
No, you're good.
So, you just tell my audience what exactly you do for Edge.
Yeah, so just to give you guys a brief introduction of what I do, my name is Alira Goka, and I am the high school transition coordinator for the EDGE program. So I work with high school students who are blind and visually impaired, and we work on career readiness skills and skills to help them be independent. So some of the things that we work on are writing resumes and cover letters, finding volunteer opportunities, finding summer employment. I also invite them to our monthly workshops, which cover different topics such as budgeting, money management, independent living skills, etc. And I also invite them to our weekly Zoom calls, which cover about the same topics. And one of the topics on our Zoom calls is what I came here to do, is talk about tech. So we have Zoom calls for the kids, and we share tech tips on there. One of my other job duties also includes I also do admin work for Edge at this moment. So I write reports, student progress reports. I update databases and much more. So it's really, really nice to meet you all, and I can't wait to get started. And yeah, so thank you, Adam, for having me.
My pleasure. And just to give everyone a little bit of a history lesson, because I don't talk about my blindness live on here as much as I probably should, but after that, part of this was an excuse just to have you on the show and catch up. Because I always say I'm going to give you a call, and then it's like 4 a.m. I was like, "No, that's not happening," and then months fly by.
Yeah. So, oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So basically, just to update everyone, Lyra and I met at the Joseph Kohn Training Center in New Brunswick, and that is a training facility ran by the Commission for the Blind and Visually Impaired, where they give you independent skill training and career training, and basically give you a taste of, most people's first real taste of independence from blindness. And Lara and I met there. We became friends. For some reason, she thought I was funny, so I'm glad I was able to convince someone of that finally. And together, there we learned things like tech and how to cook and how to get around the can and all that. You have any fun memories of that time?
Yeah, that was such a fun time, and I guess I didn't mention my blindness to everybody. I have a condition called retinopathy of prematurity, and one of the reasons why I came to the JKTC was it was right before I started college, and I wanted to gain independent skills. So I'm totally blind with no light perception. I had light perception in the past, but that's all gone away now. So yeah, I was born 26 weeks premature, and the JKTC helped me become very confident. And I also did other programs in the past, but the JKTC was the most influential for me because it prepared me for on-campus life.
Which like I said, I know you graduated a few years back, and just amazing. So what type of tech do you normally give your clients an awareness of, or give them a basic teaching of?
So as part of my job duties, I don't necessarily teach tech. Like
Right.
I'll go onto some of our calls and inform students about what's out there, but I'm not a tech teacher. So
Okay.
some of the tech though that I try to help my students with at the workshops are mostly iPhone based. So voiceover, downloading apps from the App Store. So like the students have to take a feedback survey at the end of our workshops, and I help them navigate the survey website using voiceover. So I would tell them, okay, now you have to flick right or you have to flick left. But like basic help like that. And some students
Some basic telling them which way to slide and which way to tap.
Yep, exactly. And a lot of the students, most students that we have in our program have multiple disabilities, and they're not able to do that. They're not able to do the swiping and the flicking. So I will just read the survey to them. But that's very rare. A lot of students want to try.
All right, yeah, that makes sense. And just to give everyone a quick overhead, voiceover is, basically what allows us to hear what's going on the phone. So if we put it on there, we can slide it to the left or the right. It'll tell us what we're on. And then you just tap it like that. And then just a little bit of voiceover. And, just in case anyone wants to know exactly how we use our phones, there's a small demonstration. So I guess you're with voiceover, you're preferable to iPhone, right, versus Android, stuff of that nature?
Yes, I've been using an iPhone now since 2016, so a little over 10 years actually. I've been using an iPhone for 10 years. And I tried an Android for a short time, and it was a Samsung Galaxy S7, and I hated that thing. It was old at the time, very old phone, and I found TalkBack to be so sluggish, and I just couldn't get used to it. So I went back to voiceover on the iPhone, and
Yes.
I've been using it ever since.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever used anything, because one day Sehem, who was my Braille teacher over at JKTC before she retired, just one day she's like, you ever use an iPhone? I was like, no. She's like, blind people use iPhones, And she's like, "Here, play with mine." And then she just showed me like 2 or 3 things, and then I was like, I didn't want to give her the phone back at the end of class.
That's how I was. I was very stubborn about switching over to an iPhone. So I had a flip phone before the iPhone. I had this like Samsung. It was called the Samsung Haven.
Hey, I remember those.
Yeah, yeah, oh yeah, old school. Like really, I love that thing. That was my baby. That was like my friend. I loved my Samsung Haven. Um, and I just didn't want to get rid of it. And my mom was like, everyone around you is using iPhones. Everybody, like, there are. She showed me these videos, multiple videos of people, blind people, using iPhones. You know, having success with iPhones. And
Yeah,
then it wasn't until I started with the College of New Jersey summer program that I realized like, oh, I actually need an iPhone, and I'm going into like I was in my third year of high school at that point, and I was like, yeah, I need more than just a flip phone. And I realized after I got an iPhone for my birthday in 2016, I realized that I couldn't live without it, and I was stubborn, but again, like
yeah. I have a
everyone,
few
people are
friends.
afraid
I
of
have a couple
change.
of my friends to this day say the worst thing I ever learned was how to use technology.
Yep. Now I can't get it out of my hands, but it's good and bad. But you know, and I understand a lot. You know, and I say this to the blind people, blind, visually impaired people who are listening that are out there right now. Uh, Change is scary, but uh, you can do it. You got this.
Okie doke. Basically, I, you seem like you're really good with your clients. Uh, what do you do with that? You know, which is probably one out of every couple of kids who just difficulty learning or just isn't quite there yet in their own thing with the whole coping with blindness type thing.
So what I kind of typically do with those kids is I try to so like with the kids who can't accept their blindness, I really try to make them feel good about themselves. Like, you know, I'll say something like, I know it's scary, but just take it one day at a time. Or I'll try to invite them to a workshop so they can see other blind people. And they can meet others who are like them. And I would say to them, it's, you know, I think it'd be beneficial if you come to these workshops so that that way you can interact with people who are the same as you know, who are going through the same thing as you.
Notification from
Um,
Sean Perkins.
and I feel like them coming to workshops helps them cope with their blindness. And I also encourage them to talk to their mentor. Each student gets a mentor assigned to them.
Okay.
And so I have them talk. I really, really try to encourage them to talk to their mentor. I said, talk to your mentor. They're going to be really helpful to you. You know, you can basically vent. You can vent to your mentor about all the things that you're going through, and they can provide you strategies to help you cope with those things.
Yeah. Even though I my application never probably never got looked at in front of the garbage. Uh, you know, Even that, where they've looked at my YouTube channel. I was like, wait, we're not hiring this guy. Edge is a great program. I guess I want to know, as far as screen readers, what do you prefer, JAWS or NVDA?
Oh, I'm a JAWS user all the way. I used WindowEyes for a couple years, and I was very stubborn about switching to JAWS too because I liked WindowEyes. I was used to it.
WindowEyes was awesome.
I agree, but just like I was hesitant about switching from the Samsung Haven to the iPhone. Same thing happened with WindowEyes to JAWS. But as soon as I switched to JAWS again, I can't live without it. Um, JAWS, I find it to be very intuitive. It gets, even though it is expensive, and I hear this debate all the time, JAWS and NVDA. JAWS is expensive, but you're really, in my opinion, you're really getting what you're paying for. You're getting like consistency that it's going to work, and and no need for add-ons because everything is included. Um,
Yeah, I
so
hear you.
I'm JAWS all the way. And NVDA though, I don't hate against NVDA either. actually, I find NVDA very useful if JAWS crashes.
Yeah, like I said, I just at one point I just got tired of paying the $100 renewal fee 1 year. And there was 1 year where money was tight, where I was like, I'm not going to be able to really swing the renewal. I was like, wait, I can basically have something I can use for free, and I just like never looked back.
Right.
That was just more where I was, and I'm still kind of working my way out of a personal situation too.
Right. Okay. Yeah. No,
I don't think they're both good programs.
They are.
But I mean, all means, if you can be blessed enough to have the full version, or don't mind renewing it every 40 minutes with the trial version, then yeah, I love JAWS.
Yeah, I have. So I had the commission. Here, the blindness organization here in New Jersey. When I was in college, they were paying for my JAWS, but then as soon as I started working, that didn't happen anymore. So then, now that I'm working, I'm paying for JAWS at the moment.
Oh yeah, like I said.
But again, like if my situation were to change, I'm proficient with NVDA and can switch if that were to happen. If I couldn't pay for JAWS anymore.
That is sweet. What advice would you give to someone first, trying out JAWS for the first time and just getting, trying to get used to all the new technology that they have to navigate in?
I think the advice that I would give people is to and I say this to people, and I'll have a little story. So I was training someone on how to use JAWS to navigate Word, Microsoft Word, and they said, "Okay, do I press enter here?" And I'm like, "Yes, press enter. Don't be afraid to press enter." And that's what I tell people. Don't be afraid to press a button, because you can always undo it. Like, your computer's not going to blow up or catch on fire or whatever. Don't be afraid to press enter. That's what I would say. Like, don't be afraid to try new things, because you can always undo it.
Yeah.
And if you need it, if you're not a person who can learn a whole screen reader by yourself and you need step-by-step instructions, the Freedom Scientific website has instructions, but also there are a lot of organizations out there that provide tech training, like one-on-one tech training that's tailored for you.
Yes, whether it's the Lighthouse Guild, whether it's Digital Alliance, Commission for the Blind, Edge,
blind professional.
You could probably pick up a lot just going on different YouTube videos too.
Yo, YouTube is great for that. YouTube is a great free resource, and also Blind Professionals Network.
What's that?
They're a newer organization. Their website is blindpronet.org, and they offer a lot of services. But one of their services is tech training. So they work with blind professionals or people looking for jobs who want to develop their skills, whether it's resume writing. They have workshops for resume writing. They have workshops for interviewing skills. But then they also have one-on-one tech sessions that you can sign up for. And they're taught by blind and visually impaired tech volunteer instructors. And the tech sessions usually last 4 weeks. So when you apply for a tech session through Blind Professionals Network, you fill out the form, you apply for training, and then they'll approve you to get training, but you only get 4 weeks of training. Now, if you need more training, you can request more. But it's all free. Everything that they do is free.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Definitely may have to check them out. They're what's the name of the organization one more time?
Blind Professionals Network, BPN.
Blind Professionals Network. I will do updated show notes, and I'll include them in the show notes as well.
Yep. So yeah, shout out to BPN, because I was a volunteer tech instructor last September. I only did it for the 4 weeks. I trained one person, and we did a lot throughout those 4 weeks. We did Excel.
That's awesome.
We did Word with JAWS. We spent 2 weeks on Excel, because that was a little bit longer, but we did Microsoft Word, and we also did iPhone skills with voiceover. So
That's amazing, and
it was an amazing
yes,
opportunity.
I can attest that Alira is a really patient teacher, because the one time she taught me through Zoom a couple years back.
Oh, that was a while back. I'm trying to remember what I taught you.
You basically just taught me how to basically enter a Zoom meeting and how to set one up.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yep. And I set up a Zoom room, and I basically taught you how to navigate, like if you need to add a waiting room or
Yeah, and then
all that.
like 2 weeks later, I was after screwing up an interview on my own with Zoom, I discovered StreamYard and never looked back.
This is a great platform, though. I like it.
Yeah. Like I said, I just find it with, it's a little more easier to navigate with like JAWS and the NDVA and all the screen readers.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something I'm still trying to figure out after 11 years, is how to, make the visual non-visual with this stuff sometimes.
Right. I understand. And it's a process. Like it never stops. Like especially if you I was blind at birth, so I learned everything. I learned how to navigate my world without sight at a young age. But
Yeah,
for people like you who are blind later in life, it's a process, and it really, like, adjusting never stops.
like
Right?
I
Does that make
said,
sense?
I had, with the retinitis pigmentosa, which is my condition, RP. I had usable vision up to the age of 12, and then I had, varying degrees of messed up vision from 12 up to now, where now it's very light perception and hand motion, and even with the cataracts and the glaucoma surgery I had last year, it's still pretty much the same light, perception and hand motion.
Mm-hmm.
Do you use a cash reader?
Oh yeah, I do use a cash reader. I used to use. There was an app called. It was just called Money Reader. It's now been discontinued. They're
No, really? All right, that explains a lot.
Yeah, they're no longer updating it. So if you have it on your phone and you try to open it, it
No,
will.
I tried looking for it in the App Store and couldn't find it, and I was like,
Well, a few years back, if you had it downloaded, you were good. But then a couple years ago, I think it was 2024, they stopped updating it. So like if you tried to open it and use it, it would say no longer supported.
yeah, that's what I got a couple days ago when I finally was looking for it after I upgraded my phone.
And now you can't even find it. So they
Nope.
must have taken it off. I do use Seeing AI for money identification.
Right.
And for those of you who don't know, Seeing AI is a free app that allows you to like scan text, scan documents, scan barcodes. So if you don't know what the product is, you can it'll make beeping sounds to let you know when you're close to the barcode, and it'll ultimately read to you what the product is. Like say if it's Pantene shampoo, it'll read that to you. It also does light detection, so if you don't know if the light is on in a room, it'll beep to let you know that the light is on or off.
See,
And then
that's a feature with it I never tried when I was using it.
it's kind of cool. The way that the light sensor works is that if the room is dark, it'll make a low pitched like like that sort of
Interesting.
sound. And then as the light gets brighter, the pitch will start to go up. So it'll sound something like this. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. And then the other one, the money feature, that's the one that I mostly use Seeing AI for. And that one it's really, really easy. It's you hover your phone over the bill and it instantly tells you what the currency is. So like $10, $5.
I've been using Cash Reader for the last year, and I have a love-hate relationship with it.
What do you mean by that?
Just basically, there's a couple times when Cash Reader has made mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
I notice it mostly with larger bills. like anything over 20. He's made mistakes with it. Not as bad as say what my good friend Mr. Metaglasses did to me when I had identified cash.
Actually, I haven't used the meta glasses for cash, identifying cash, but I have used them for I've asked him, "Hey, META, what is this?" And he'll tell me what I'm holding in my hand.
Yeah, and depending, I don't know if you have this thing with the meta glasses. Do you normally does it normally give you the right answer right away, or do you have to pay 20 questions?
Depends on what it is. So I had a lotion, for example, I had a lotion in my hand, and I asked it, "What is this?" And it said, It said, "It is Mrs. Meyer's Clean Day hand lotion." I'm like, okay, that's basic. Basic. It got it right. Um, but the only thing that it didn't tell me, I was kind of expecting it, was the scent. Like what scent am I holding? So I had to ask it a second time, what scent is this lotion, or what scent am I holding? Um,
Yeah,
then
right.
it would tell me, okay, oh, it's a lemon scent or whatever the scent was. But um, I do find that I have to keep asking it questions in order to get the detailed responses that I want.
And I don't know. I want to get your opinion on this because with me, it's depending on what I'm trying to identify. It's either it will be like boom, 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 like 1, 2, 3, done, or I'm playing 20 questions with it. I notice normally when it's like trying to have them read me like a bill that will come in the mail or something like that. That's normally when it wants to get finicky with me.
Right. I know. I do notice that with text, like when it comes to printed paper. And it all could depend on the paper, on how it's printed. Whether it's like colored, or if it's white, I guess, as opposed to like when you get mail that's kind of
Yeah,
brightly colored, or it could depend on the lighting too.
yeah. I remember that a couple of times. I was like, I'll just wait for the morning because I know the lighting is gonna make me and the meta glasses have another argument. I spent enough time arguing with technology throughout my day.
That's why when I'm not getting the responses that I want to hear from Meta, I'll switch over to the Be My Eyes app and use the Be My AI feature, like within the app, and I'll take a picture of whatever I need it to.
I'll try that. I mean,
And that actually gives me a more detailed response than Meta does. And I don't have to ask it 20 questions either.
I'll try that the next time. Have you tried Ira Explorer with the meta glasses yet?
No, I have not. It's brand new.
Yeah, I actually just tried it the other day outside of outside of the glasses lagging a little bit. It wasn't that bad.
Okay.
I just noticed a really horrible lag
Hmm.
when using Ira.
Do
And
you have the Gen 1s or the Gen 2s?
I have the Gen 1s.
I do too. So I don't know if that could be the reason why it's lagging, or
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not
I
sure.
did not want to spend the money to upgrade to the Gen 2s yet.
Yeah, me
Uh,
either. I'm still kind of playing around and learning my glasses, but I wanted to mention, speaking of Meta, I am on the New Jersey Institute of Technology. I'm on their um like research panel. I'm like a, what do you call it? Consultant, I guess, on their research panel. So I'm working with a professor in the School of Computer Science and her students to work on a prototype to develop the meta glasses more, to
that's
kind of
awesome.
make them more accessible.
Amazon stop. That is amazing. You know, you know. So speaking of Ira and Be My Eyes, what is your preference?
So it kind of depends on what I need. Um, Be My Eyes, I prefer Be My Eyes is my primary because it's free, and you don't have to pay for minutes, and you can get help from different companies like Microsoft, Google, if you need to. Um, when, like, if I just need assistance with, say, just reading the instructions on food on a food container.
Yeah.
Say if it's say if I get a box of mac and cheese out of my
Yep.
cabinet and I need and I need them to read the instructions, that's when I use Be My Eyes because I just need a quick thing. If it's something where my computer shuts down and I don't or my computer crashes and I don't know how to restart it, and Jaws is not speaking to me, that's when I use Ira, the professional. Like I need that's when I need a professional agent.
All right. Like I said, I use Ira more when I know when I'm going for personal mail, when like personal information is going to be, going back and forth. Just because they're paid employees versus volunteers.
Right. Yeah. Like if I need support that's a little more involved, that's when I use Ira. If it's something small like cooking, you know, getting instructions off a box of food, that's when I use Be My Eyes.
Yes, and I have not had a chance to play around with Ira Explorer and them helping me shop at the Walmart website yet.
Oh, I used Ira at Walmart. Can I?
Yeah, man. How does that exactly? How does that work?
Okay, so I didn't use it with the meta glasses at all. I was at Walmart a few weeks ago. I actually went there with my Edge students, and I was showing them. I was trying to at least show them how to use the Ira app in the store. So the way that it works is that when you call an agent, you have to say to them that you want to use the Walmart offer.
Okay.
So then they'll say, okay, just confirming, do you want to use the Walmart offer and you're at the Walmart in Woodbridge, right? Like they'll know your location because
Okay.
it picks up the Wi-Fi in the Walmart or location services in the Walmart. So then they'll confirm with you that you're at that Walmart and they'll be like, okay, so what do you need help with today? And at the time I wanted to know the price of a beanbag chair. So I put my phone up to the price tag of the beanbag chair, and they were like, "Well, we can't really see the price. Move your phone back." They were prompting me through how to adjust my phone. Um, then eventually, after flipping the price tag a couple times, frustratingly, we couldn't find the actual price. So they scanned the price tag on my behalf. The agent did, and then they went to the Walmart website and put the exact information in the search field of the beanbag that I was showing them.
That's awesome.
Then they were able to find online that the beanbag was like the beanbag chair was like $60, for example. And they told me that it was only that it was available in store and online. So like they can, if they can't find a price for whatever reason, or if they can't find the brand name, they could just always look it up for you on the Walmart website.
Wow.
And on that specific store's website, like for example, where I was at was the Woodbridge, New Jersey location. They can go ahead and look that specific store up for you.
Fascinating. Like I said, just to let everyone know, Ira Explorer and Be My Eyes are apps on your phone where someone who's blind or visually impaired can call into an app on your phone, and then someone who can see fully will look for your camera or on the phone or for your meta glasses and be your eyes.
Yep.
And help you perform a task that you can't see yourself to do, like reading mail or helping if you pull an atom, as I like to call it, and drop cat food. You'll know exactly where it drops. Well, my cat's impatient. And they're two of probably the most used apps on my phone.
Yep,
depending on what I'm doing that day. Have you tried using the meta glasses and Be My Eyes for walking around yet?
That I haven't tried. I work from so like I'm home during the day, so I don't like being that I work from home, I don't get out too much, but when I am out with my family, I always forget to bring them with me. And I was like, oh, I'm going to try that. I'm going to try walking around with them today and see how that works. But I did do a test in my room, and I asked the agent or the volunteer what they could see, and it's a pretty wide field of vision. Um, because the glasses have those like the double camera, they can
Yeah,
see basically what's on. Like if I turned towards my wall, they can see that whole wall, what's on it. Um, like it's say if there's a mirror and some perfumes lying next to the mirror, they can see all that. But I haven't tried it like out in stores or walking around yet.
yeah. I actually, this was what really made me fall in love with the meta glasses even more. To a point where I started using them in public almost all the time as I walked from Penn Station to Port Authority last year, using 90% Be My Eyes. The only thing that now annoys me like out in public with them is you're talking to a volunteer. Everyone thinks you're talking to them as you're walking around.
Yep.
Which, trust me, every now and then got confusing and scary at certain points. To a point where I was like, come on, this is New York City. You should be used to people talking to themselves.
I know, right? Um, that's like an awkward blindness thing though, is that like people were saying, "Hey, how are you?" And I'm like, and I answered a couple times. I'm like, "Oh, I'm good." But they weren't actually talking to me, they were talking on the phone. I've done that so many
I
times.
hate when that happens. So is there any, as a young visually impaired person, is there any stereotypes about blindness or visual impairment that make you say WTF, or this is just like, where do the people even come up with this?
Um, a, a lot of the ones that I get, and it's 2026, and I still hear this, and I'm surprised, but I shouldn't be, that blind and visually impaired people can't take care of themselves. Like they always need help at
I
home.
guess we didn't get the memo on that.
I get, yeah, I guess not. And I come back with, I know a lot of blind people who live by themselves, who have kids, who have lives, and they're living very successful lives.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm surprised I still hear that in 2026. But I think more people are becoming aware of it now, like aware of like the capabilities and the strengths of blind people.
Oh yeah. And I don't know. Whoever I want to find a time machine to figure out the first person who made this up to smack them as hard as humanly possible. But it's not. And I want Alira to confirm this. Blind people do not want you to ask them how they wipe their behinds.
No, 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 no.
I get the question once a week at least.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Okay, the only time that I got it was I spoke to my sister's kindergarten class. And of course, and one of the silly kids asked me, "How do you go to the bathroom?" And and I'm like, "Well, just like everybody else does. Um, same way you do. But that's a kindergartner. That's different."
Yeah, yeah. Actually, it probably wouldn't bother me so much if I didn't get it out of a grown adult. To a point where I was talking, I was like, in my head, I was like, should I make a video so I never answering this question so I never have to hear it again? And other people within our community said it would be in horrible taste that I made such a video.
Yeah. I think that's a little TMI. I just come back with this quip. I just say, yeah, the same way you do. And you know how you do it? That's how I do it. Period.
Yeah,
Like done.
like I said, I guess the other thing that always that gets me, I don't know how this affects you as a visually impaired person, is it's just like they don't blind people like can they even go out on a date with someone, or is it kind of they go to a movie? And it's just like
I've heard those questions. So I'm in a couple support groups, like blindness support groups, and I've heard those questions so many times. Um how do you date as a blind person? Like we've had calls, we've had edge calls about like consent and boundaries, but also considerations for going on a date. Like that is something that's that's been talked about a lot lately. Um, and I've heard all these speakers say like, yes, blind people can go on dates, and there are blind people who are in relationships. Like it's normal. Like, and I always try to tell people I'm not some sort of alien. Like I don't come from outer space. I just can't see. That's all. I'm a and a lot of people like to put their blindness first because that's what uh that's their identity. And
Maybe that's
I
always been my weirdness, over the years. Yeah, I can't hide from it, but I try not to let it like totally define me too.
Yeah, and for me personally, I don't necessarily let it define me. Yes, it's part of my identity, but at first I say I'm a woman, I work for the Edge program, I'm a coordinator who happens to be blind. Like some people say, "Oh, I'm a blind woman." I say I use person first language as opposed to disability first. And I know there's been a lot of debate about that, but going back to the dating thing, like, I hear a lot of questions about like how do you tell like how do you tell your partner, how do you tell this person about your visual impairment? Will they accept me? Like those are the questions that kind of I also personally struggle with. Like, okay, what if I meet somebody who's sighted? How, like if I tell them about my blindness, which they'll see it right away. I use a cane.
Yeah. It's
Um,
just
nothing to hide from me, but will they actually accept me? Will they love me for me? Uh, so that's something
no. I can
that
like I
I
said,
question sometimes.
I know it for myself. It is a struggle from time to time where you know it's like yeah. I can kind of tell right away, and just maybe because I'm in my 50s now, to a point where I can see where a date's not going to work out versus if it's going to work out almost in the first 5 minutes.
Hmm.
Just by how nervous the person is with me in public, like you can kind of tell.
Yeah, I can tell just with now I've never been out on any dates, but I can just tell with friendships. Like if the conversation becomes awkward, if the sighted person is always correcting themselves when they talk to you, like for example, if they say, "Oh, have you watched?" I meant oh, they'll say something like, "Have you ever seen or watched or sorry, I mean
Yeah.
listened to Stranger Things?" I'm like, "No, no, no, you don't need to do that. I watch Stranger Things." Like if it becomes
And
like
then after
awkward
that, two
like
seconds
that.
later, it's like, really? You watch Stranger Things? How'd you do that?
Yeah, how do you watch it? Well, and then I go into the whole thing about audio description, but like if it becomes
I'm at a
awkward,
point where I pull out my phone. It's like, here, let me. It'd be easier if I just show you how I do this. And
that's
then
that's what I
they're
do.
like,
That's what
wow,
I
I
do.
didn't know that existed. That's pretty cool.
But like if the conversation becomes awkward like that, and if it's kind of awkward the whole time, I know this person's not going to be my friend, let alone partner. Um, but if it goes smoothly, if they're open minded, then I'm more willing to be their friend.
I told one person on one date once. I was just like, I have a rule. You know, if I have to answer more than 5 sight questions, there's no second date.
Hmm.
And she kind of chuckled. She wound up asking more than 5 questions anyways, and I forgot. And I actually went on a second date. Well, that's they were like actually good sight questions for once.
Oh, good ones. Okay, not those silly ones.
Yeah. Amazon stop. You know, actually, one of my favorite memories of us from JKTC is almost every other night we would do like snack time.
Oh, I remember that, and I never forget. You brought me a whole bag of Reese's cups, Reese's peanut butter cups, because you knew I liked them,
Yep.
and I was shocked because I was like, "Hold on, this whole bag is for me." It was a big bag. I mean,
Hey man, you're
And
like I said, one of the cool things about having October birthdays is it's right around Halloween time, so it's
true,
just
true. But I
you
did
just grab
not.
the big bag and at that point, especially during the last two weeks of my 10-week stay there, I actually really made friends that I saw myself having for life. So it's like I hope Amy's doing well because she may have called me when she was a little like inebriated at a college party or something,
Right.
and I was just like, nah, I don't need to talk right now.
Yeah.
But it's still one those snack nights are still some of my fondest memories of the last like 15, 20 years.
Yeah, me too. I miss those snack nights. But yeah, I couldn't believe that about the Reese's cups that you got me this bag, and then I was like, I have to share this, and I shared it with everybody. I remember sharing it with everybody at the table. But the other thing that I missed were the pizza nights on Sunday night. The pizza,
Yeah,
um,
those are great too because
those
Sunday at the JKTC is the night where everyone just like comes in for the week. And they normally just have like pizzas there for whoever came out on Sunday just to like catch up and talk and uh you know I mean you know like I said I highly recommend JKTC. It was a great experience.
it was amazing. And I never forget on that Sunday night while we were eating pizza, the counselors were watching Lifetime, but it wasn't the nice Lifetime that everybody used to know.
No, it was like the
It was
most.
the killer, like
Yeah, it was like
it was the
one
psycho
of the most
killer.
depressing things I ever saw in Lifetime to a point where, I just started questioning it like halfway through.
Yeah, I was like, okay, why is the title "My Babysitter's a Killer"? Like, what? um, this is messed up. Like, I remember Lifetime as being this like warm-hearted, fuzzy feeling love channel, and now
Oh
it's
yeah,
a psycho killer. Ma-
maybe because it wasn't the holiday season.
yeah, probably, but e- um, even during the holidays, Lifetime can get dramatic.
That's true. Uh, but those were just some great times. And you know, I'm just happy. I'm really happy that we've been able to remain friends all this time, and I do thank you often.
Thank you. Yeah, you as well. I'm glad that we stayed in touch after all this time. But
Yeah. Like I said, it's really just great to see that you're doing well, and I could not be happier for you.
thank you. You as
Um,
well. I'm glad. I've been following this podcast, and you have a lot of episodes. So I'm really happy for you that your podcast is doing well and it's taking off.
yeah, like I said, this is something I just in March celebrated 11 years. A couple weeks ago, I finally hit the 1,000 episode mark.
Oh, nice.
You know,
Congrats.
I have a great friends. I get to live the dream. I get to come here every Wednesday night and hang out with one of my best friends in the world, JD, who happens to be one of the best seeing eye producers I've ever had.
Nice.
I could not imagine doing this without him, and just it's just been one dream after the other coming true.
Awesome. I'm happy for you.
And now I was looking to expand it into occasionally covering some blindness topics as well. And I thank you for humoring me enough to help me experiment in this.
You're welcome.
Just because a couple of the people in the support group over at the Lighthouse Guild wanted to check out my show. And like, do you have any blindness stuff on there? It's like, yeah, I think I have a few here and there. I started thinking about it just every now and then instead of the usual public show I entertain people with, to occasionally do something educational.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, so thanks. And you remember me, I know educational stuff. But I want to thank you for being a guest, and I just want to wish you a good night and a great week.
Thanks, Adam. Thanks for having me.
My pleasure. You have a great night.
You too. Thanks.
Yep. That's Alira, and she's awesome. And if you're a visually impaired student with Edge, I hope you have the pleasure of working with her. You'll be in great hands.
Oh, can I make one more announcement?
Yeah. The floor is yours.
Before I go. Before I go, anybody, if you live in the state of New Jersey and you are a high school student, please talk to your transition counselor from the commission. If for the commission for the blind, if you're from New Jersey, you know what I'm talking about. Ask them to refer you to Edge, because we're starting a summer program in Edge, and you really want to be part of this. You're going to learn a lot. So please, if you are a high school student, you are a parent out there, talk to your transition counselors about Edge. Thanks.
My pleasure, and
thanks for having me.
My castle is your castle. If you ever need to come on to talk about anything with Edge or upper blindness related stuff, you always have a open invitation to come on anytime you want.
Yep. And and that's it. And if anybody needs a tech training, like I mentioned before, there's Blind Professionals Network, but also Adam, if you want, feel free to give people. I'm not going to give it on air, but I would be happy to help anybody with tech if they need it as well.
I will, and like I said, everyone with Alira, you'll be in great hands. It is great, and I'm blanking on his name. What's his name? I can't think of his name, and we grew up together too, which is weird.
Oh.
I know. Who's in charge of the program these days?
Are you talking about the commission?
Yeah, I'm talking about who's like in the hedge of who's like running Edge these days.
Oh, who's running Edge? It's run by. It's not run by Family Resource Network anymore. It's actually run by the Arc of Ocean County, which is a nonprofit.
Oh wow.
And the commission runs it as well. But yeah, my directors have changed a lot. But yeah, we have we used to have a visually impaired Edge director. Now we have a sighted Edge director, and he's cool. He's really nice.
So the person I'm picking up is no longer
no
in the directorial chair anymore.
Nope, not anymore.
That kind of sucks. Don't want to give his name out on air just in case. Yeah. I don't know how comfortable he is with it. So, and I guess last but not least, before I let you go, is what are your thoughts on seeing eye dogs?
Seeing eye dogs, I think they're very helpful to people. Me personally, though, I was actually recommended for a dog. One of the mobility instructors at JKTC, I remember her telling me, like, "Oh, you have such good O&M skills. You should really get a dog. You should really consider one." I personally didn't want one because I was even now I'm not really at that point where I can actually take care of one. Like my house doesn't accommodate for one.
Yeah, no, I hear you. That's part of the reason why every time I think about it, I try to always remind myself at the end of the day, you're taking care of an animal.
Yep. Yeah. Whereas a cane, you can just leave in the corner and forget. An animal, you gotta feed, you gotta take to the vet, and I don't want that responsibility right now.
No, I hear you. At the end of the day,
those of you who want a seeing eye dog, go ahead and get one.
Highly recommended. I know for myself, it's just, I'll never have enough confidence, even when I'm good on my mobility skills, to think I'm ready for one. And, I just really don't. I've lost too many normal dogs. Did not want to have to modify that by 100 with a seeing eye dog.
Yeah, I understand that. Yep.
I've seen with another mutual friend of ours, her and her seeing eye dog, and that kind of a bond. And I'm just like, God forbid, I don't know how I'll be able to handle another loss like that.
Right. Yeah. That's another thing. The emotional piece. I don't know if I can handle that either.
Yeah. Before I let you go, do you have any closing thoughts? Any last closing words you'd like to say to the audience?
No, just I had a blast tonight. This has been fun. I would love to come on again and do a part 2, that would be
Well,
nice.
definitely, plan it sometime sometime in the summer to have you come on and do part 2.
Yeah, I would love that. But thanks again, Adam, for having me.
My pleasure, man. Like I said,
great,
anything you ever need, just you know how to find me. So.
Yep. Have a great Wednesday, my dudes.
All right, thank you.
Thanks. Bye, guys.
Yep. Hey, JV, can you hit that McDonald's commercial, please?
Gotcha.
The great taste of 2 cheeses melted over 3 beef patties on a superhero bun. It's McDonald's Taste of the Month. Everyone's making a break for.
Welcome to McDonald's. May I take your order?
McDonald's! Now I'll bring in my tag team partner, Mr. Chairman of the Board, Mr. JB Wills. What's up, sir?
I'm trying, man. How are you?
I am doing good. How's the new laptop treating you?
Oh, not too bad, man. Not too bad.
That is awesome. So you caught the Punisher One Last Kill special?
Yeah, I did.
What were your thoughts on it?
A little short, but still an entertaining watch.
Yeah, like I said in the pre, I thought it was really good. I just that one opening scene did take me out of it for a few minutes.
For sure.
I'm not gonna spoil it, but I did not think they were gonna go through with what they did. And then the way they did it, I was like, yeah, that's kind of fucked up.
Yeah, that was kind of messed up.
Whoever those, John Berthel in the role is great. Not exactly sure how this fits into the entire universe yet, but it was just cool to say.
We'll find out eventually.
Yep. And congratulations on your first stream back. How did that go?
Not too bad, man. Not too bad. First one, so just gotta keep chugging along.
Keep up the good work, sir.
I'm trying, bro.
Yep. What did you think of this week's Monday Night Raw, man? It seemed to me it was really flat.
Yeah, I would say so. I think Javon was the highlight of it all for me. And of course the ending. The ending's like the big piece. So, I'm really interested to see the John Cena Classic, but then again, I have some issues with that as well. But
yeah, that made me scratch and go, what the hell? What the hell is this?
Yeah, kind of.
Amazon stopped, and like I said, just take a wait and see approach, because I think eventually we're gonna have no more Judgment Day again.
Yeah, I mean, they're starting to stir the pot slightly, so.
And I can already see that. I think they're gonna turn Roxanne face.
Well, again, I would prefer Raquel before Roxanne, but you know.
Yeah, that would work too. I'm just saying, I think they may have used when they were in her hometown
Yeah,
as kind of a little testing ground to see what would happen if they turn her face right now.
maybe.
You know, unless it's really just, I didn't get the memo, and it's just really cool to be a fan of heels right now. I'm noticing certain heels on the roster just getting bigger pops than they normally get for heels.
Which heel are we speaking of?
For example, is like Roman supposed to be the heel because people sing that stupid song?
Oh no. Yeah, I don't know.
Or am I just confused on what Roman is right now?
I mean, no, you can kind of. I don't know.
Yeah.
No, you have to put Roman's in a face scenario right now. But Roman's kind of a tweener too. Like you could.
That's true. That's why I'm having hard. Even the pops Randy was getting before Mania for a heel were loud. Were loud as hell.
Yeah, and apparently Orton's gonna be on SmackDown this Friday. So
that's what I've heard.
We'll see what happens there.
And I hope we don't get another shock retirement because we've already had 2 of them this year.
No, I don't think so. I think you keep Randy going for it.
Yeah, I hope so because I'm actually sad that we don't have an Oscar on our TV no more.
Well, apparently it's not what everybody thinks, but she'll be back. She'll be back.
Yeah, hopefully they'll give her a little bit of time so EO can enjoy the rub.
No. It was for a family matter, so she'll be back.
All right, cool. That's a rumor I was hearing too.
Well, that's what I heard, so that's probably why they, took her off TV. I don't think it's a last match kind of thing.
All right, that's cool. And that was in my candidates for match of the year, though.
Yeah.
That. And as for always, thank you for doing this each and every week and being a part of ASR. And,
no problem, man.
Much love. Where can the audience find you online?
Pretty much everywhere, man. JV Wheels _ if you want to follow me on Twitch, same name. We're working through it. Appreciate you, man, and this was cool.
Like I said, whatever I can do, I'm glad this worked out as well as in reality as it did on paper when I was thinking of the idea.
Yeah.
Because like I said to Alira, this just came out of someone in the support group asking me if my podcast did anything with blindness education, and in my head I was just like, you know what, I never even thought of putting that in here every now and then.
I think it is something you should.
Yeah, and that's why I figured let me turn to my friends who will see past all the normal childish antics of the channel and not judge me on them. And Alira and I were just messaging back and forth at one point because I think I had a question for her about something. Because whenever I need to figure out something about blindness, she's one of the first 3 people I always go to.
Oh, yeah.
Just, I was just like, hey, would you go up for possibly, talking about technology and other blindness related stuff on the podcast? And she just, jumped.
Yeah, man, I think it's something you should definitely explore a little bit.
I might just explore doing this once a month. Yeah, just because these episodes, I'm not gonna lie, so like the episodes that I had to prep for a little bit, or sometimes a little nerve wracking, but also sometimes some of the most easiest to do as well. But
at times, man, at times. No, but this was cool. It was cool. Got to see it from another perspective too. So
yeah. But yeah, everyone, you can follow me at Instagram at The Real Blind Adam, TikTok at The Real Blind Adam, mini vids at Blind Adam, eBay at Blind Adam, Twitter at The Comic Pimp, and whatnot at Comic VIP. Hopefully by the end of the year, the website will be up and running. Need to talk to someone who can guide me with a few things over within that department. As always, if you're struggling, please get help. There's no shame in getting professional help. No one has said that they love you today. I love you. There's always someone to listen. Life is an amazing journey. Go chase your dreams. You just might catch them. I love you all. Blind Adam out.